During the tribal gathering, a duel became inevitable. Arminius chose to face Marbod in a one-on-one fight, and no one could stop it. In the duel, Arminius wielded 2 swords, while Marbod used a sword and an axe. Both men had past connections with Rome. Arminius had served as a Roman officer, and Marbod had a similar background. Arminius did not gain the upper hand in the duel. Instead, he was beaten badly by Marbod. Occasionally, he managed to gain a slight advantage, but Marbod quickly counterattacked. Arminius's warriors stood ready with their weapons, prepared for any unexpected situation. During the fight, Arminius was kicked into a pile of burning coals. He grabbed a handful of the burning embers and threw them at Marbod's face, instantly turning the tables. Seizing the opportunity, Arminius held his sword to Marbod's neck. Arminius told Marbod that the difference between barbarians and Romans was that barbarians always fought among themselves, which benefited Rome. These words were spoken to him by his son, Gaius, just before he left. Romans enjoyed seeing the barbarians fight each other, reaping the benefits as a result. Despite being at a disadvantage, Marbod refused to kneel before Arminius. Arminius had no intention of making him kneel. Instead, he extended his hand and helped Marbod up. The next moment, Arminius dropped his sword and pledged allegiance to Marbod, acknowledging him as the king of the Germanic tribes. This action shocked Arminius's tribe and Thusnelda, who found it difficult to accept. Arminius's move was a calculated one. He clearly wanted to gain Marbod's 70,000 soldiers. Marbod's wife did not want to jeopardize their relationship with the Romans, but Marbod was unwilling to give up his throne. He hoped the Romans would continue their friendly relationship with him. In the forest, a Roman soldier had been secretly following Arminius's group to his tribe. However, Arminius's men were vigilant and quickly captured the Roman soldier. The soldier claimed to be Flavius, the son of Segemar, and Arminius's brother. He had come on Tiberius's orders to deliver gifts and a message to Marbod. Marbod was pleased with the gifts but looked grim after reading Tiberius's secret letter. Arminius was furious upon seeing his brother and immediately drew his sword. However, Marbod protected Flavius, forcing Arminius to suppress his anger and put on a smile. This fake smile disgusted Thusnelda. Arminius had lost his throne and was forced to host Flavius and his tribe. Thusnelda was extremely unhappy and took out her frustration on a piece of wood. Arminius tried to explain, but Thusnelda refused to listen. She accused Arminius of being a traitor, first to his tribe, then to his Roman son, wife, foster father, and the 30,000 Roman soldiers who had trusted him. Now, she believed, he had betrayed her by kneeling before Marbod. Thusnelda saw him as a habitual traitor. These words enraged Arminius, who warned Thusnelda to watch her words and remember that he was still the chief. Arminius was biding his time, knowing that true peace with Rome was impossible. Marbod had not yet realized this, so Arminius was willing to wait. Marbod showed the letter to his wife. Tiberius demanded Marbod present Flavius's head as a sign of loyalty to Rome. This was a cruel test because Flavius had claimed to be close to Marbod, making this a perfect way to prove Marbod's loyalty. Meanwhile, Flavius was still dreaming of returning to Rome and living a comfortable life. At the moment of the Germanic king's coronation, a sudden barrage of arrows rained down on the tribe. According to the rules, no weapons were allowed during the tribal gathering, leaving the chiefs and their families defenseless and plunging them into chaos. If not for the selfless protection of his men, Marbod would have been killed. Marbod stood alone in the field with no means of retaliation, shielded only by a few men with shields. Arminius's fierce warrior Oddvolf was struck by multiple arrows and fell to the ground. The attack was led by Germanicus, who continuously ordered the archers to fire. The Romans had found the tribe's location thanks to Flavius and Gaius leading them there. Gaius had spared Flavius, who, in turn, had called the Roman archers for help. The Roman archers fired relentlessly, aiming to eliminate all the tribal chiefs. Arminius watched as Gaius ran away, tears in his eyes, finally understanding why his son had agreed to attend the tribal gathering. Marbod watched his people fall one by one, powerless with only a shield for defense. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the fog, attacking the archers from behind. It was Folkwin. Germanicus had only brought archers on this expedition, and they were no match for a swordsman. The archers were quickly overpowered. and Germanicus ordered a retreat. Folkwin single-handedly attacked the Roman archers, saving some of his surviving tribesmen. Marbod was hit in the leg by an arrow, and his wife was killed. Marbod deeply regretted not killing Flavius earlier. Oddwulf had taken care of Gaius, letting him stay in his home and teaching him to hunt, only to be indirectly killed by Gaius. Before he died, he was still worried about Gaius' safety, but Gaius had already left. Talio watched Oddwulf in agony as he took his last breath. Germanicus returned to the city to a hero's welcome from the Roman soldiers. Tiberius publicly praised Germanicus and Flavius for their bravery. Flavius was overjoyed, thinking he would finally be accepted as a Roman. However, he was naive. In the tent, Tiberius's attitude changed drastically. He angrily berated the two men, demanding to know who had authorized their actions. For months, he had been creating the illusion of peace to make the barbarians let their guard down and fight among themselves. Now, because of the attack, they would unite instead. Tiberius expressed that he did not like Germanicus's actions on his own. As for Flavius, Tiberius had him stripped and thrown into prison, saying that barbarians could never become Romans. Flavius's fate was deserved. Marbod brought his deceased wife to the Roman camp. Tiberius claimed he had not authorized the attack and blamed Flavius for instigating Germanicus. Marbod demanded that Tiberius hand over Flavius and Germanicus, but Tiberius refused. Still hoping to maintain a facade of peaceful partnership, Marbod insisted there would be no peace without their surrender. Tiberius then ordered the archers to fire, signaling the end of their peace. Gaius, starving, resorted to eating wild fruits. He wanted meat and used Oddwulf's hunting methods. As he tried to start a fire, a gray wolf appeared. Gaius cautiously approached the wolf, but it ran away. When Gaius opened his eyes again, he found himself surrounded by Roman soldiers. This time, Gaius did not reveal the location of the barbarian tribe and kept running. At night, Gaius encountered Thusnelda and Folkwin resting. He urged them to follow him, but Folkwin did not trust him. Gaius insisted that if they did not believe him, everyone would die. Thusnelda and Folkwin looked in the direction Gaius pointed and saw hundreds of warships sailing towards Germania. Marbod's 70,000 troops would take at least 3 days to arrive, while the ships could transport Roman soldiers to the camp in just 1 day. Thusnelda rushed back to her tribe to inform Arminius. Facing at least 10,000 Roman soldiers, they discussed how to respond to the impending war. An elder suggested attacking the Roman ships, but Arminius dismissed the idea, pointing out that the barbarians were unfamiliar with Roman warships and could not swim. Another suggestion was to use the captured Germanicus and Tiberius as bargaining chips, but Marbod knew Tiberius was not trustworthy. After these events, Marbod finally realized the threat Rome posed to his people. Thusnelda proposed attacking the Roman camp before the ships arrived, which seemed the most feasible plan. They decided to strike while the Roman camp was still vulnerable. However, even if they adopt this method, they will need to fight 1 against 3 to have a chance of winning. Some people are unwilling to take such a big risk, but if they don't take the risk, they will only face the fate of being enslaved and massacred. They decided to take the gamble, hoping for a slim chance of survival. Arminius decided to lead his entire tribe into battle. His son Gaius, after experiencing these events, finally understood his identity and was willing to fight for his tribe. Gaius practiced combat techniques, with Arminius personally guiding him. However, Gaius could not keep up with his father's moves, and sending him to battle would be suicidal. Arminius did not want to lose his son again and refused to let him fight, but Gaius told him that in the eyes of the Romans, they were all barbarians, regardless of age or gender, even if he could not truly fight. Making the Romans believe he could was enough. These words deeply moved Arminius, who realized his son had grown up. Despite the potential cost, as a father, he had to learn to forgive and support his son. Everyone in the tribe, regardless of age or gender, contributed to defending their home. Crafting weapons together, Thusnelda's father, suggests, was a coward who wanted to prove his loyalty to the Romans. He betrayed his tribe again, informing Tiberius of their plans. Tiberius couldn't believe at first that anyone would sell out his people for gold, but after seeing Segestes, Tiberius despises him greatly. He told Segestes to speak quickly. Segestes revealed that the tribe knew about the Roman ships and that Marbod would seek revenge for his wife. He also mentioned that Germanicus had been captured. Tiberius already knew this but was alarmed when Segestes revealed the planned attack time for the next day. Segestes suggested Tiberius be prepared, and Tiberius smiled at the news. Arminius had planned to infiltrate the Roman camp disguised as a Roman soldier and open the gates from within. However, due to Segestes' warning, Tiberius ordered that no one be allowed in or out of the camp until the ships arrived.